In this project, we'll be working with the NTHS, National Technical Honor Society information to create a one-pager in Adobe InDesign. We're really going to focus on using those paragraph styles to format our text. You can see that there's a lot. This is a very text-heavy design. There's a lot of different things going on. We have bullets, we have headers, we have some bolded words, we have some stylized things going on with their URL and their catchphrase. So a lot of different things that we're going to work on here, as well as layout and working with images to make sure that our text kind of wraps around it, and placement of different kinds of images within our one pager. In this first video, we're just going to start with setting up our document. So if you are in InDesign and you don't have a document open, it should look like this. We're going to start by going to New File. We're going to go over to the Print section and choose Letter. Over on the side here, we have our preset details. We're going to make sure that our margins are set at 0.25. So I'm going to press down on the little slider here, and all of our margins should have linked together to make them all 0.25. And then our bleed, we also want to add a bleed, so that means that it will have elements that print to the edge of the paper. We're going to set that to 0.125. So if I just press up once here, all of our bleed areas, top, bottom, inside, and outside are set to 0.125 now. And that's all we need to change as far as the settings go for our letter size document. We're going to go ahead and click Create. Now, before we begin, we always want to make sure that we have our workspace set up correctly. So we're going to go up to the top menu where it says Window, Workspace. Make sure that you are in the Essentials workspace. So make sure there's a check mark right there. And then if you already are in Essentials workspace, go ahead and reset Essentials. So that way we all have the same layout here. We have the same panels open, the same toolbar location and everything like that, so that you guys can follow along really easily with me. The first thing we're going to do is set up some guides in our document here. And these guides are going to help us lay out some things. If you don't have your ruler showing, so this up at the top here that has inches, if you don't have your ruler showing, you need to go up to the top and go to View, and then go to Show Rulers. Now I have mine showing, so it says Hide Rulers. You can also use the keyboard shortcut of Command R or Control R if you're on a PC. So once again, make sure you have your rulers showing. To create a guide, I'm going to start with making my vertical guides, so the ones go up and down. I'm going to go over here to my left ruler and click and drag out. And it doesn't matter where you put it right now. I'm just going to put one right there, and we're actually going to make 4 different guides. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can see when it's selected, so this last one that I just pulled out, it is selected. It's a darker blue. The ones that are not selected are this lighter blue. You'll kind of get to know like when you have something selected and when you don't, it changes colors. Go ahead and select that first guide that we have, and we're going to put it at a specific location. So with it highlighted in this dark blue, you'll see in our properties panel over here, it says transform. That X value is where it is located on our ruler. So right now it's at 1.86 inches. We want to move it to 2.5. So I'm actually going to double click inside here and just type in 2.5 and press enter. And it automatically moved my guide where I wanted it. It's still highlighted, it's still selected. And so we're also going to change the color of this guide, because later on in the video I'm going to tell you to use the different colors to help you understand which guide I'm talking about. So this first guide that I just have moved to 2.5 inches and I have still selected, I'm going to go over here to the very bottom of this properties panel where it says Guide Options and change it to red. And then click OK. It still looks like a blue color because it's selected, but if I click off of it, you'll now see that our guide is red. I'm going to do the same thing with the next one, except for move it to a different location and change it to a different color. So I select this second guide, turns that dark blue color. We're going to change this one to 3.5 inches, 3.5, press enter. Then I'm going to go down to my guide options here, and this one is going to be violet. And then click OK. Again, you won't notice that it's violet until you click off of it. Next guide is selected. I'm going to type in the location of 5.3 inches and press enter. And then we're going to change the color of this one to green grass. Click off of it so you can see the color. And the last guide is going to be at 6.75. 0.75, press enter. It's highlighted, still selected. We're going to change the color to light gray. All right, so now we have red, violet, green grass, light gray, and all of our guides are in the right location. Now we're going to make 3 horizontal guides. So we're going to drag from the ruler at the top now. So click and drag from the top down. I'm going to do that 1, 2, 3 times. Again, it doesn't really matter where you place them because we're going to select each one individually and place it where we want to go. So I'm going to select this first guide, and it is going to be at the Y value. So now we're doing Y since we're going on this ruler. And we're going to change the Y value to 2.25 and press enter. And we're going to change the color of this one to just blue. And then click OK. I'm going to select our next guide. And I'm going to change the location of this guide to 6.25. And we're going to change the color of this one to black. And my very last guide is going to be at the location of 9.25. And we're going to change the color of this one to orange. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4 vertical guides, 1, 2, 3 horizontal guides, and then your colors should be red, violet, green grass, light gray for the vertical guides, and for the horizontal guides we have blue, black, and orange. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and go up to the very top here where it says view, go down to grids and guides, and we're going to lock these guides. So now if I try to select them, if I try to move them, they aren't going anywhere. This helps us out a lot as we go forward because we don't want to accidentally move them when we're clicking and dragging items around our document. One more thing we want to do as we're setting up our document is go to our layers panel. So we're going to go to window and open up our layers panel. And mine automatically docked over here, but if for some reason yours is not automatically docking, you can just click and drag that whole window over here till it turns blue. If it looks like this, that's fine. You can just kind of use those arrows to collapse it down. And now we have our layers. Again, if yours is a little bit different, if it's shorter, that's fine. As long as you can access your layers, you'll be good. We're going to have 2 different layers in this document. We're going to have our first layer, which is going to be called text. And so all I did was I double clicked on layer 1 to give me this layer options, and I'm going to rename this layer to text, and then I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to create a new layer by clicking on the plus sign at the bottom of the layers panel and double click on the layer 2. If you do a slow double click, it'll let you actually type in the name there instead of opening up the dialog box, which is fine. And we're going to name this one graphics and images. So now we have our two layers, text and graphics and images. We have all of our guides set up. Last thing we need to do is save this. So we're going to do save as. This is our first time saving. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I put it in the correct folder. So this is my folder that has everything else for this project. And we're going to name it last name, first initial, underscore, one pager. And press save. Thanks for watching. This completes video 1. Click here to move on to video 2, and we'll see you in the next video.